A true sniper is not just a marksman with a rifle. It's someone who makes complex decisions in critical moments, knowing that their choices shape the course of history. Their hearts are filled not only with skill, but also with high moral standards. So let's learn today how people become snipers, which interesting movie myths are true and which are not, how to detect and counter a sniper in real life, and much more. First, let's figure out where snipers come from. Primarily, units where snipers serve are divided into two types. The first are sniper shooter companies or separate sniper platoons, and the second are regular companies. Such companies include, for example, motorized rifle or reconnaissance units, where both regular soldiers and a few soldiers in sniper positions serve. Sniper units are spread across the entire military spectrum, from motorized rifles and airborne troops to Marine Corps, reconnaissance, and special forces. The branch of service determines how often snipers will have to shoot, conduct tactical exercises, and much more. For example, in motorized rifle units, more attention will be paid to the art of camouflage, tactical training in the forest and on rough terrain, and specifically to shooting, as the number of shootings conducted in ground forces is higher. At the same time, in airborne units, all these activities will be conducted, but the main focus will be on training in parachuting skills and landing with a rifle. Next, let's see how people become snipers. Sniper units readily accept draftees with sports categories in shooting. To obtain a category, one must train long and hard, at least join a shooting club, study the subject matter and technical characteristics of the weapon, and develop precision, attention, and estimation skills. A person without achievements in sports shooting can also be taken into snipers. As the snipers themselves say, accurate shooting is only the third concern, as a sniper must also be able to completely take positions, move quickly and unnoticed, climb mountains, swim, and have excellent mathematical abilities. By the way, let me dispel one of the myths right away, which claims that sniper candidates must have perfect vision. Not always. If a serviceman has other important qualities, they can be taken even with minor vision problems, as modern technologies such as contact lenses can easily compensate for such minor defects. Let's look at how a typical day for a sniper goes. The schedule depends on the season, the location of the company, and the training schedule. This can include waking up, long runs up to 35 kilometers, physical exercises, breakfast, and then theoretical and practical lessons. All candidates also study sniper-related literature, tactical combat techniques in various conditions, and enhance their skills in camouflage and survival in the forest. In addition, they are trained in the principles of operating various weapons so they can successfully use any weapon found on the battlefield. Additionally, any good sniper must be able to lie in their position motionless for many tens of hours. And if you add camouflage to this, it becomes unclear how to detect and counter such fighters. Therefore, let's find out how it is possible to counter and fight against snipers in real combat conditions. If we talk about forest terrain, a sniper's position can be given away, as strange as it may seem, by the surrounding silence. This is especially true in places where there was previously observed activity of animals and birds. If there is a person nearby, animals usually sense this and try to avoid the space. Also, a rag fixed on a branch is also a sign of a zeroed position. Snipers use it to determine the direction of the wind, but this is more about low-profile snipers, as professionals do not use such methods. Similarly, the appearance of new vegetation, which is planted for camouflage, also indicates the presence of a shooter. Such vegetation is usually planted rather carelessly, does not take root into place, and dries up quickly. No less information about a sniper can be provided by tracks, flattened grass, and the presence of a large accumulation of flies and mosquitoes. But there's one problem. All of the above signs, which can be used to recognize a sniper's position, can be identified exclusively when a shooter is not in place, and we need to establish a sniper's location during their work and combat. Even by the flash of a shot and smoke, it's not always possible to find where the shooter is hiding. Meanwhile, a sniper can be given away by the most seemingly insignificant details. For example, in cold weather, such a detail can be the steam coming from the mouth. But here too, shooters have figured out how to circumvent this natural bug by simply stuffing their mouths with snow, which in turn cools the throat and the steam is almost invisible. A sniper can also be betrayed by their shadow, especially if they are in the chosen position for several hours. Therefore, experienced snipers always try to take such a position where their slanting shadows will not catch the eye. Snipers must indeed befriend the shadow, as in it, optics do not shine. By the way, special indicators of optical devices can be used to detect snipers in the shortest possible time. For example, the detection range of a sight like the PS-01 by the Russian indicator Luk-1 is 800 to 1000 meters. Such systems work roughly as follows. Laser beams are sent to the presumed place where the shooter may be, after which the device records the incoming reflection if there is one. Such reflection can be given by binoculars, optical sights, and other devices with lenses. And if such devices are not available, there is a possibility to detect a sniper by other means. The most effective methods are considered to be so-called decoys, which provoke the sniper to shoot, which in turn reveals the shooter's position. For example, to attract a sniper's attention, one can make a dummy that moves but at the same time does not appear to be an easy target. At night, to provoke a sniper shot, burning cigarettes against the backdrop of white and brown paper can be used. This setup is fixed on a wire and protruded from cover, where the paper in this case simulates the head of a smoker and also acts as a target for hip control. Indeed, snipers are much more dangerous at night than during the day. That's why the most daring methods of determining the shooter's position have been developed for the nighttime. For example, illuminating a sniper with the light of a powerful spotlight is still actively used for this purpose. However, the spotlight is never left in plain view, as a professional would surely put the device out of action immediately. The spotlight is usually buried behind cover, and a sheet of white tin is placed on top of it at a 45-degree angle. The light beam reflected by this tin sheet illuminates the enemy's nest, while the sheet itself can withstand many hits. Counter-snipers also do not disdain to use ordinary mirrors during the day, with which they illuminate, for example, suspicious crevices. And if a sunbeam hits the shooter's optical sight, it deprives them of the ability to aim properly for a long time. But there is one sniper in history against whom it was difficult to counter anything. And this is the deadliest shooter in the world history named Simo Häyhä, whom his enemies nicknamed the White Death. Simo was called into the army when the Soviet-Finnish War began in 1939. On just the first day of the war, Häyhä eliminated 25 soldiers, and 2 days later, the number increased to over 50. Fame about the elusive sniper inflicting significant damage to the Soviet army spread beyond the front line. Simo Häyhä's height was 161 centimeters, which was an advantage for his craft. The sniper dressed in all white, allowing him to be unnoticed against the snow. He could lie in positions for several hours waiting for the enemy. And imagine, all this happened in winter when the temperature was between -20 and -40 degrees Celsius. Simo prepared his position in advance, packing the snow in front of the weapon barrel and pouring water over it so that it would not scatter sideways during a shot. And remember the life hack with snow in the mouth to hide the breath steam. This is exactly what the shooter used to be even more concealed. The best sniper of that war never used an optical sight. He believed that the glass glare could betray his position, and in winter frosts, the scope glasses would freeze. In the first 100 days, the Finnish sniper hit, think about it, 542 targets with precise shots. Rumors reached the Soviet command, so a decision was made to send an elite squad of snipers to eliminate the shooter. As a result of this entire story, a Soviet sniper's bullet finally caught up with Häyhä on March 6, 1940. The shot pierced his left cheek, and the sniper was evacuated in an unconscious state to the rear, where he remained in a coma for several days before undergoing surgery. His jaw was completely shattered, so surgeons had to use bone from his thigh for reconstruction. After the hospital, Simo asked to return to the front, but was denied due to the severity of his injury. Häyhä lived to be 96 years old, spending his remaining life hunting and farming. When journalists tried to take an interview with details, he always said that he was just fulfilling his duty, just like the Soviet soldiers. By the way, the weapon used by Simo was an old Mosin rifle M2830, modified by the Finns. But moving into the 21st century, it's clear that arms manufacturers have made significant advances in creating more sophisticated enemy destruction tools. So let's find out which sniper rifles are considered some of the best today and why. In the field of sniper weapon development, the USA has always tried to outdo everyone in everything. At least for now, their products seem to be the most advanced. The Chaytek M200 intervention rifle is one of them. Special 408 Chaytek and 375 Chaytek cartridges were invented for this large caliber sniper rifle. The primary purpose of this weapon is to engage live targets at long distances. Like many sniper rifles, the M200 has a manual reloading mechanism and a bolt action system. But if this rifle is so cool, why isn't it at least automatic? The thing is, rifles of this type are traditionally considered more accurate than automatic and semi-automatic ones. The moving parts of automatic weapons can wear out, which subsequently affects surgical precision. A distinctive feature of the M200 rifle is that it is part of the Chaytek LRRS system, which includes a ballistic computer that can connect to wind sensors, temperature sensors, and atmospheric pressure sensors. All this allows effectively hitting a target comparable in size to a human figure at distances up to 2 kilometers or around 1.2 miles. However, the price of the system is not low. The rifle costs the buyer a whole $50,000. Perhaps that's why it is used by a limited number of countries, including Argentina, Jordan, Turkey, and Poland. Also, this sniper system is quite heavy. The rifle weighs more than 12 kilograms or around 26 pounds without the optical sight. But from the Russian side, there is also a worthy contender, as we have the legendary sniper rifle named Ors's T5000. This weapon was first presented to the public in 2011 at an international arms exhibition in Nizhny Tagil. Today, the Ors's is used by both police special forces and army snipers. The construction of the T5000 rifle is based on an original bolt group made of stainless steel. It features an automatic feeding magazine and one of the highest accuracies among its competitors. To give you an idea, an entire magazine can be placed within an 11cm or around a 4-inch circle from a distance of 800 meters or 0.5 miles. The rifle is manufactured by the Ors's Arms Factory, which belongs to the Promtechnologia Industrial Group of Moscow. The rifle's design is available in 3 variants: for 7.62mm by 51, 8.58mm or Lapua Magnum, and 7.62 by 67 or Winchester Magnum calibers. For this rifle, there are also special pre-objective attachments which have become one of the most important directions in the development of night optics. Currently, there are attachments with IIT or Image Intensifier Tube, thermal imaging, and digital attachments. The weapon has both the military and civilian versions, and the base configuration costs about $5,000. And we all watch movies where snipers always appear as deadly silent assassins who never make mistakes. So let's look at a few interesting myths about snipers that we all believe but don't quite match up with reality. In all movies and computer games, snipers somehow always aim to pump their target's head full of lead. A single precise shot and a person standing at least half a kilometer away from the shooter falls, struck right in the brain. However, in reality, no sniper would aim for the head. The reason is simple: it is easier to hit the body. Landing a bullet in the head is much more difficult because the target is smaller than the torso. Moreover, people tend to move and shake their heads. Therefore, at long distances, shooters aim for the chest or stomach. Deliberate headshots are perhaps only made by police snipers when they need to eliminate a criminal holding a hostage without harming the latter. But the maximum distance at which they conduct such fire is 200 meters or around 0.2 of a mile, no more. The next myth about snipers, who supposedly need to hit right in the head, is related to another misconception about the surgical precision of sniper rifles. In movies, a sharpshooter makes a small, neat hole in the enemy's skull and they dramatically fall to the ground. If the bullet hits somewhere else, bodyguards surround the victim, pull them out of fire, patch them up, and no big deal. If the character wears a bulletproof vest, then they are almost invulnerable. But in reality, you wouldn't want to see what a bullet from a sniper rifle does to the human body, trust me. The reason is that it possesses huge energy, which allows it to travel impressive distances. Look, for example, at the effect of a shot from a 50 caliber military barrel has on a block of ballistic gel. The same thing would happen to a target's body, and no bulletproof vest would help. Contrary to a popular belief, a sniper is not a lone wolf who wanders by himself. In modern armies of different countries, shooters work at least in pairs. There is even such a term, sniper pair, and sometimes even in threes. The additional fighter in the pair is not equipped with a sniper rifle, but with automatic weapons for close combat. They protect the sniper while they are firing at distant targets. So it doesn't happen that a sniper lies with their rifle and intently stares through the scope while an enemy soldier who went into the bushes for personal business and got lost accidentally comes up behind them. Moreover, the sniper's partner serves as a spotter and guide. They report the wind, humidity, temperature, and other parameters that allow the sniper to fire more accurately. And as a classic in movies, the shooter's task seems to be simply to aim the crosshairs at the enemy. Just because you have aimed the crosshairs at a person does not mean you will hit them, because gravity, humidity, and air temperature affect the bullet. And also altitude above sea level, wind, and a bunch of other factors play a role. At particularly long distances, even the Coriolis force, that is, the effect of the Earth's rotation, must be considered. So Hollywood snipers who catch the target in the crosshairs and instantly hit it don't look very realistic. By the way, in many movies, a sniper, aiming, squints, pressing their eye almost close to the scope. This should not be done because the optical device can knock it out upon recoil. The scope should be kept at a distance of 20 to 30 centimeters from the face or around 1 feet. Moreover, snipers are advised not to squint. It creates unnecessary tension on the eyes, therefore they are taught to fire keeping both eyes open. And no, snipers do not use laser designators because they can easily reveal the shooter's position. Even invisible beams are noticeable in night vision devices, not to mention the bright red laser pointers shown in movies. What other interesting myths from movies and games can you recall? Write about it in the comments, and of course, subscribe to the channel to not miss new videos.